Hey everyone, it's Lisa with Are You My Cousin? It's Thursday. It's time to talk genealogy once again. Hey Danny, from Chile, Ohio. And Dave from Renton, Washington. Yes, we've got kind of a dreary day around here in North Carolina, just cloudy, kind of drizzly, nothing too much going on out there, it looks like. Hey Flo, good to see you from Oregon as well. So I'm really excited that everybody is joining me today. We are going to be talking about Roots Tech 2022. It starts next week. I cannot believe it. So I'm all excited. I've been working all day trying to kind of get things together from my end on Are You My Cousin. I'm very much in full preparation mode. I have been for a while actually, but I really kind of turned it on this time, making sure I've got my schedule all situated so I don't miss anything. Hey Christy, good to see you. I see you're from Illinois. Wow, I know. I think the middle of the country was getting some pretty bad weather earlier this week, so I hope everybody's doing okay on that. Hey Diane from South Carolina. Oh, I'm so excited you guys are here and joining me today. Hey Deb, good to see you again. So I'm curious as you're coming in. Hey Pam, Ohio is cold. Yes, my son tells me that. Hey Melissa from Colorado. So as you're coming in, I'm really curious. How many of you guys are actually registered for Roots Tech? It starts next Thursday on March 3rd. So are you guys registered and ready to participate? So yeah, drop in the comments. Let me know, or a thumbs up. Either way, that's perfectly fine too. So hey, Judy, good to see you from Maryland. Wonderful, wonderful. So if you guys are joining me, yay, Debbie, you're registered. If you guys are just joining me, and if you haven't met me before, I am Lisa Listen. I am the creator, the writer, really the only person over at Are You My Cousin, the website and the blog. And so I come here each Thursday afternoon to chat with you guys about genealogy topics that are near and dear to my heart and yours too, I hope. I see, obviously, the topic this week we're talking about Roots Tech 2020. It starts next week. And it looks like so many of you guys are already registered and ready to go. So I am really excited about that. As you're coming in, if this is your first time joining me, I do want to give you a special welcome. And I certainly want to acknowledge those of you who join me each week, because I do really appreciate the support that you give to me and bring to me each week. So Lynette's all the way from Australia. Yay. Glad you are with us as well today. So definitely, if you are not familiar with Roots Tech, it is something you want to definitely be a part of. So if you're not sure, if this is your first time, Roots Tech, what is it really, guys? It is the largest genealogy conference out there. We call it, here's a good Southern expression for you. It is the granddaddy of all genealogy conferences. It is the largest conference. And currently, prior to the pandemic, it was always held in Salt Lake City, Utah. And it was a great time, obviously, to attend sessions, to hear talks from fellow genealogy researchers, and to learn and to network and to see really cool new products and new releases from companies in the Expo Hall. So there was a lot of excitement around it. Well, as we all know, the pandemic hit, and here we are now, 2 years in with another virtual conference. So they had to turn on the dime very quickly, go completely virtual last year, and it is virtual again this year. And I think they did a fabulous job last year, and this year it's just as fabulous, if not more so this year. I can't believe what all they've been able to do this time around as well. So if you have not registered, it is 100% free, and it is 100% virtual. So what does that mean? It means you can watch you can watch wearing your pajamas and at home. I will be kind of attending, I guess, virtually from my office in my nice comfy clothes. So yes, I will be participating. And what I really wanted to be able to do today was to talk with you about how to get the most out of the Roots Tech virtual experience, because it is very different. I found it very different last year attending it virtually. We were all kind of getting into that virtual mode, but it's different than when you attend in person. So I wanted to I've got 3 tips to give you. And then if you watch next week, watch the watch your email and watch the website next week, you'll see a video giving even more tips as well. So one of the things to know about RootsTech is that it is very easy to get overwhelmed with everything that you could possibly do. So do not expect to do everything that RootsTech offers, because they offer live events. So they offer live talks. They have an incredible number of keynote speakers that I am thrilled to watch and to see. Some of the folks are people I actually have heard of, some I have not heard of, but I am personally fangirling over Molly Ye, who was from what is the name of her show? It's a Food Network, Girl Meets Farm. So this is live, guys. I didn't say the Girl Meets Farm show off of Food Network. She is going to be one of the keynote speakers. These are all pre-recorded. I am thrilled and just cannot wait. So I have them all marked down so I don't miss anything. So we have the keynote speakers. There will be some live sessions. There will be panelist type talks. There will be just kind of informative talks. Then there's the Expo Hall. Okay, and in the Expo Hall, I think I saw, let me check my numbers, there were 98 vendors in that Expo Hall, which means that's a lot of folks you can talk to, a lot of things you can learn about. And many of them have their own educational talks, much like if you've been to RootsTech before and you go in into like maybe MyHeritage or Ancestry was doing their own talk, like a little brief talk at their booth. They're doing that this time around. So within the Expo Hall. So there are also over 700 pre-recorded videos by speakers like myself. I have a video out there as well. So there's a lot to partake, and it's extremely easy to get overwhelmed. So you know me, I am a planner, and that is really my first tip, is to sit down and make a plan. Make a plan. And I usually start with the live events and first, to see what it is I want to see. I go into it thinking, what type of sessions do I want to put on my playlist? You can curate a playlist of pre-recorded talks so that you can watch them at your leisure. All those pre-recorded talks can be done at your leisure, and they are available, for the entire year. So if you are, maybe you want to learn more about Irish research. Maybe you're just starting to research that Irish ancestry you learned you had. You can go in, you can see who is talking on Irish research, what kind of series are out there. You can add those videos to your playlist. You can curate your playlist, and then you can watch them at your leisure. Maybe you don't have time this weekend. Maybe you've got a conflict. That's fine. You can watch them, next month if you need to. That's perfectly fine. So I like to go in and, I kind of think about, where is my research right now? What is it I want to accomplish, or which lines do I want to look at? And I'll create my playlist now, so that when I have a few minutes, when I have 20 minutes on a weekend or a weekday evening, I can pull up that queue and watch a video. Or if I'm on my phone and I'm sitting and waiting for something, an appointment or something, I can pull up a video and watch. So that is something I like to do right kind of up front. Now you can do that and access those, as I said, all year long, but I do like to go ahead and create my playlist right up front, so I know kind of what I'm interested in seeing. Then what I like to do is make sure I'm taking advantage of the live events. And this is actually kind of my tip number 2. I think probably I should make it tip number 1. Take advantage of all the live events, because I recently got an incredible opportunity to interview Jen Allen, who is the RootsTech event manager. So she's in charge of all of RootsTech. And I asked her about this, and I said, what is your best piece of advice? What do you really want attendees to know about RootsTech to make sure they're getting everything down? And she said, I want to make sure they're attending the live sessions. The pre-recorded sessions, you create those playlists, you can see, again, all year long. But those live sessions, yes, they'll be recorded, but attend them live, because there's sometimes opportunities, like if it's a panel discussion, you can ask questions and those kinds of things. So make sure you're taking advantage of seeing things that are live, being able to ask questions in live events that are taking questions from the audience, feel free to absolutely do that as well. I'm actually doing one. I'll be in one of the live events. Let me put this in there. I'll be doing, it's called a fireside chat with Panga. And if you guys know, Panga is a story. They have, hang on, I can't grab the link and talk at the same time. Here we go. So I'm going to put the link in the comments section for both Facebook and YouTube here, guys. And I'll put it in the description on YouTube as well when we're over as well. There we go. So what Tammy Mize and I will be talking, and Panga will be moderating, and we're talking about how to really start to connect with our stories. And the theme of RootsTech 2022 is to choose connection, or choose to connect. And so that's what we want to do. We want to kind of help people get excited and inspire them to tell stories, whether it's through photographs, whether it's through traditions and cultural foods that the family eats, so that we can start to preserve the family heritage and culture, but also pull in these younger generations who, don't have the benefit of knowing these past generations that we did. So we definitely want to be sure that we're doing that. So that is actually going to be live as well. So we've got some live opportunities to do with that. So let's see here. Let me check the comments. I see some things coming down. Patricia's have been people that RootsTech is going to break some brick walls for her. Yes, that would be wonderful. If you have like a certain area that you're looking at, you definitely want to see who's researching or who's talking on those topics. Heather said, not everybody wants you to break down the brick wall through them. This is true. Sometimes family histories can get quite complicated, and not everybody wants the family history known. And that is something that we as researchers just have to be conscious about and careful about when we're talking and sharing our research. So we do need to be sensitive to what our families are wanting to do. So when it comes to the RootsTech session and you're trying to get in on some of those live sessions, one thing I want you to be very conscious of is that all the times that you will find listed on the site, RootsTech website, are in Mountain Time, so Mountain Standard Time. And so you'll need, a lot of times they will give you, like a Pacific time or an Eastern time, but the main times are in Eastern time. So if the keynote is at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, then obviously it's going to be 12 noon Eastern time where I am. So make sure you're just kind of doing your calculations with that. It's pretty easy just to Google, a time converter if you need to on your laptop or your device, but just know that, and so that you double check your times, and so that you don't miss something because you're working on a different time zone. I live by time zones because as I talk to people around, it can be pretty hectic too. So definitely, Jen said, take advantage of those live events. They have some really neat things with everything from dance through storytelling, through how to tell your stories, to, again, food and culture and that type of thing. So I think it's going to be a really wonderful way to participate live, even though we're not physically there. Now, you guys, I have a really special affinity for things such as the food culture. My daughter and I have actually a culinary heritage blog called the Food Memory Project that we do together. But because I really feel like my personal thing is that genealogy can, and it should be, a multi-sensory experience. That, yes, I speak and I talk and I research on how to research and how to find records, but I do think we need to kind of give legs to the stories there. We need to make sure we're giving life into those stories that we are discovering on our ancestors. Phew, that's my soapbox. Sorry, guys. That is one of my big soapboxes. I just feel like I can spend all day in the records, as you know, and really, give me a good tax record and I'm a happy camper. Those 18 tax records from the 1800s, I am a happy camper. But it's the story behind the records that I learned about my ancestors. That's the one that I want to make sure that I am telling, because I feel a very strong affinity to do that. So, okie doke. So our first tip was to make a plan. Second tip is to make sure you're taking advantage of the live events. And again, the majority of them will be pre-recorded, but I prefer to see those if they're live. I want to go ahead and see them live because you get little extra things, you pick up extra things you might not pick up on a recording. And then the third tip I want to give you guys is to explore the Expo Hall. And this is kind of an interesting thing. If you've never done a virtual Expo Hall, it can be kind of interesting. It can be a little intimidating. The very first one I ever did was actually for a travel show. And I found it to be, I was like, okay, it's just kind of different. It was kind of like clicking along. And then all of a sudden, they were talking to me. And I'm like, whoa, like through instant messaging, not voice, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. And I could ask my questions. So if you have questions, say for MyHeritage, okay, go into the Expo Hall when it's open, go to their booth, their virtual booth, and ask. They will have a way for you to talk to them and to ask them. You can type it in and they can help you out. That's what they're there for. That's what they want to be there for. And you can take advantage of that, definitely. And so I would encourage you to do that, to explore the booths that maybe you use their products and you have questions, go talk to them. Also, if you have product, like MyHeritage, Ancestry, Family Search, a lot of Panga, for one thing, a lot of them have the virtual booths, but they also have live and pre-recorded tutorials there. So you can learn about that. If you have a Panga subscription, if you have a Vivid Pics, if you use Vivid Pics for photo editing, then you can go and learn more about how to get more out of that particular product as well. So it's a great place to go. Now, while you can watch pre-recorded talks by RootsTech speakers afterwards, I am not sure that you'd be able to do that with the Expo Hall. So if you're watching, in other words, if MyHeritage is giving a talk, then I'm not sure that would be available afterwards. So you want to make sure you do take advantage if there are talks going on in the exhibit hall. And there are something like, hang on, let me look at my number again, because it was a crazy number. I want to say it was almost 600 other talks going on within the Expo Hall. So there's a lot there and you don't want to miss out. So don't be intimidated to go into the Expo Hall. Really kind of think of it in your head as walking into a large hall, and you just go through the website and you can go into the different booths that you are interested in seeing. This is also a good time to watch for special offers in the Expo Hall. If you have been to RootsTech Live, or if you participated last year, a lot of companies do offer discounts or special pricing around the conference time period. And they continue to do that in the virtual sense. So if you've been waiting to pick up, a subscription somewhere, or there's some books or whatever it is you might have on your genealogy wish list, check in the Expo Hall, because this might be a good opportunity for you to pick up something that you were planning to buy anyway, but be able to save a little money, because I am, if nothing else, a frugal genealogy researcher. So, because, we want to save those pennies so that we can purchase those DNA kits that we need, or purchase, databases maybe we're needing to do. So definitely want to do that. It's me. I'm always trying to save money because I want to take trips once everything opens back up. I have a plan to go walk where my ancestors walked. And so I'm thrilled about doing that, and it will happen eventually. So those are my 3 biggest tips for getting through RootsTech without being totally overwhelmed. And I'm going to throw in my other one, which is really not so much a research tip, but it's a tip about taking breaks. This is 3 days, pretty much around the clock, because they're in multiple countries, they do it in multiple languages, and it's exhausting, guys. So it is very, make sure you're taking breaks, get some water. You can attend the sessions, even the live sessions. They cannot see you. So, you don't have to get dressed up. You don't have to do your hair, makeup, whatever. You can eat, in front if you want. Nobody is going to be able to see you. So just so you can have a little comfort about that. Faye, that is an excellent question. So Faye is watching on YouTube and asked if there was a list of live events somewhere. There will be. So it's not out yet. It will be. I don't think they had a firm date on when you could see that. So if you just watch the RootsTech website, and if you register, you'll be receiving their emails. They will tell you when the site goes live, because the site will actually go live before the conference opens. You won't be able to see and access anything that's pre-recorded. That part won't be, but from a planning purpose, they are going to open it up a little bit early so you can make some planning things that way. So just, watch next week, watch their Facebook page, and watch your emails. So you should hear about that. That's pretty much, kind of what I'm kind of checking as well. And as soon as I hear anything, I will make sure that you guys know about it as well, because I do want you to be able to do that. So anyway, you can actually, like I said, I'll be attending RootsTech from my chair. I will have the live session with Ponga on March 3rd. I have one pre-recorded talk there. Each of the pre-recorded talks does have a chat room associated with it. And so speakers will be checking in and out on those chats. So if you are interested in asking somebody a question, you can do that. You might not get an immediate response. It might be when the speaker comes in, checks it the next time, but you can absolutely have that opportunity as well. Something I want to tell you guys is that I will be doing a Facebook Live every single day of the conference. So all 3 days of the conference, I will be doing a Facebook Live in the afternoon. So I think the first one is Thursday at 4 p.m. And it's just a chance. It's going to be very informal. It is a chance for me to say, hey guys, let me show you maybe how to navigate this particular part of the website. Let me tell you what I saw that I think you really want to make sure you don't miss. So it's just a chance to be able to hop on and make sure that, if you have questions about RootsTech, if I can answer them, or I can find people who do know how to answer questions. But it's a chance to also, show you some things around the website. Maybe it's some interesting things that, I think you want to see, and I don't want you to lose in the plethora of events that are happening. So I will be doing that. I actually have a page where I have a schedule, and I'm going to pop that into the chat for you guys so you guys can see that. And you can bookmark it actually. So I made a page and I will be there. Let me put that in there for you guys. Here we go. There you go. Okay, so it's in the comment section for both the Facebook groups and the YouTube watching. And it's just lisalisten.com/rootstech-2022. And so you'll find everything that I'm doing, where to find me over there as well. So I look forward to it. I personally cannot wait for this to start. I am thrilled. The more I talk and the more I learn, I'm just amazed at what all they are able to do. Let's see, June said afternoon. Yes, they will be in the afternoons. And my Facebook Lives are always, they're always available to you. If you can't join live, June, they're always going to be there. But my timing does change a little bit based on some other commitments that I have throughout RootsTech. So that's why I gave you the link. You'll find my schedule there because it's not always going to be at 3 p.m. Just because of the commitments that I've made. So yes, that is it's an exciting time. I can't wait. I want to make sure that this is one of the things that many of us have talked about missing in online conferences is the ability to connect. Those little conversations you have in the hallway. And, you run into somebody, in the hallway and you have this wonderful conversation, make this really neat connection. And that's something I want to be able to do with you guys. And that's another reason I do the Facebook Lives each day, is because I do want to keep that connection going and make sure that you're able to get as much out of RootsTech as you can as well. So my Facebook Lives are on my site. I'm not associated with Family Search in that sense. I'm just going live on my Facebook pages to chat about what I'm doing. All right, guys, I will see you Oh my gosh, next week at Roots Tech. I cannot wait. It's going to be fabulous. So I look forward to seeing you then. If you have not registered, definitely go ahead and register. Again, it's 100% free. Do it from your home, and you will not be disappointed. I can tell you that. And I will see you next week from Roots Tech. So bye, guys. Have a good one, and I'll talk to you next week.